Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode... I don't even know. We are back from the winter break. It's episode something or other.
We in the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so.
Winter was coming.
80 something or other. Before I get into it, go ahead.
88.
Is it?
No. 87.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Fearless leader. Continue.
Training Northwest.
Yeah.
Rifleman camps are damn near sold out. August is sold out. September has like 6 spots left. Those will go in the next month or two, I'm sure.
Lickety split. I
have a single fundamentals of carbine class up for June. That's probably the only rifle class I'm going to post. So that's limited to, I think, 12 people. So when those are gone. And I don't even know. I'll probably do one fundamental pistol course, and that's going to be about it for publicly listed courses this year, guys. So if that's something you were looking forward to this summer, make sure you sign up for it quickly because, like I said, once it's full, and I'm not doing it anymore.
Except for things like team building events, bachelor parties, special events, group settings.
Yeah, if anybody wants Mike to come out and dance in a fireman outfit,
it'll only be a small upcharge.
Yes. Yes. All right. What are we talking about today, Kozak?
We did election refractory. Is this holiday refractory? This is the first time we sat around since the holidays. Session, yeah. And I don't know. The world seems to be going at a faster clip. So,
it's inauguration. Like we got through the election, now it's into inauguration season. So it's almost like the crazy gets ratcheted up more, and then after January 20th, it's anybody's bet.
But I think we found a way to find serenity, find a little bit of a base, and really come together as a crew.
Yeah.
Aliens,
Martians.
Mike's right.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy the show, you guys.
Later.
Yeah, but that's just you. Like
there's many more of us out there.
You think you sound like
said many times.
What do you think? You think you sound like a lesbian?
Yeah.
That what? Like was a smoker or
lesbian that grew up in California, dude, bro. Man, hey,
you're like,
and then a lesbian raspy voice.
Oh, you mean like your mannerisms are lesbian?
No.
Hang on. His lifestyle's a little bit.
Yeah.
My voice.
Your voice.
Yeah. I think it is.
I don't know.
But that's what I mean.
I never would have pictured that. But that's like what you put on yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, me and my softball team. Yeah, but that's what I think. Like no one likes listening
that's what
to their
you
own
think of
voice.
because I don't like listening to my own voice.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. No one likes listening.
But the
to
thought you have is I sound like a lesbian.
Raspy old California
Just
surfer
bold
lesbian. Yeah. But from Cali. A lot of likes, a lot of dudes, a lot of bros.
So like the Spicoli version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you are the Spicoli of Electric North.
Yeah.
Checks out. I mean, now I'm thinking about my high-pitched voice.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little nasally, I heard.
Jordan's voice doesn't match his body.
No, not at all. And like when people hear me on the phone and then they meet me in real life, they're like, huh? Oh, what's up? Like no respect on the phone.
Well, that's
no
like
respect.
What's that? He's in that show with Ashton Kutcher on Netflix. Sam something. He's that old cowboy, and he's got that gravelly. I'm country grandpa.
Oh, are you talking about
Sam
Smith? Sam Elliott?
Sam Elliott.
Yeah. That's a real voice. That's the voice I want. Yeah. But instead, I got this.
You want either James Earl Jones or Sam Elliott. And we get white guy voices.
Yeah, we get this voice. God damn it.
But I think everyone thinks that. Unless you have just a sulky, smooth voice. Which I try.
Yeah. Okay. I try and listen to it. Here we are.
So far, it's only got you pepper sprayed.
Couple of wanted posters at the post office.
Fucking voice. Oh, man. All right. Well, we took a couple weeks off.
Yeah. It's the holiday season.
We missed an event or two.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. No shit. What didn't happen? What do you guys want to kick it off with? Mike and I were starting to.
I think I was right about World War III. Let's just rub it in your noses real quick.
Rehash for the fans.
I said that over the years, drone technology and anomalies, UAPs or whatever they call them now, being in the sky and undetectable, Like, this could pose a significant problem. If someone did have a technological breakthrough, this could be a real game changer. And it's just over the years, you have legitimate people coming out. There's been pilots reporting this stuff. All of a sudden, we get 3 congressional hearings over the last year to year and a half about UAPs, where over the past 100 years, it's never happened. And then all of a sudden you get all this drone stuff. You get this Vegas guy who's like, his manifesto is coming out about
anti-gravitational propulsion devices
and
owned by
the whole
US and
UFO
China.
community's been going nuts too. Just like the echoes on the internet are they're excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think's happening with it?
So, and you were correct about World War III. How?
It's happening.
He's like, because I am right.
Yeah.
No, well, I've heard that they're using this as a way in which to create a one world government.
Yeah, I think at the end, if you zoom out a little bit from the actual nuts and bolts of each one of these events, my opinion is it's all to create fear and uneasiness, because the more fear or uneasiness we all live with, the more willing we are to accept things like facial recognition, digital currency, digital IDs, blah, 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 authoritative state kind of, you know what I mean? In order to roll out more authority, they need to first create more fear. And then here's the authority to assuage your fear, and people give up their rights in the name of safety.
Yeah. Well, maybe it wasn't like this is really happening, but something's been going on with the skies, or there's been a campaign to force people to look at the skies or to have anomalies going on. It is just something I've kind of always followed, and it seems like there's a heavy saturation of it going on currently more than other times.
When you say anomalies, do you mean you're talking UFOs and UAPs, or are you talking
just, I mean, they
when the Northern Lights went all the way down to Mexico?
No, not our own planet stuff, like the lights in the sky, the drones over Jersey, all this kind of stuff, the weird, and a lot of it's weird stuff too, because like there was a sheriff's office in Jersey that sent a drone after some of the stuff they were seeing. And while they're flying their drone, it just killed their drone. Their drone went down. Other people have done this.
Like a targeted EMP or something.
But also their controllers go dead. Like all kinds of stuff happens. So it's like there is something going on in the skies.
It's hard to believe that if someone like China or even us, the U.S., was in possession of one of these like next generation, like checkmate style weapons, that we wouldn't be using it to control the game board already.
Yeah.
You know, like neither one of these, like the United States nor China, has really ever exercised, what's the word I'm looking here for?
You mean just like bring it into warfare?
Yeah, I think they would actually use it to dominate.
But if you had the ultimate chess piece, like if you had the ultimate queen or king and chess, you know, the piece that can do the most moves, would you
think of the word
use
that
it?
means to hold back? Demonstrating restraint. Thank you. Neither the United States nor China is really known for demonstrating restraint. So if they truly were in possession of a weapon like this, what are they waiting for?
Yeah, but do you think that would be restraint, or do you think they're just trying to do it as soon as they can, and they're calling it a...
That you might be right.
And
this is them bringing it out.
Yeah.
They're rolling it out right now, and that's why we're seeing it more. That could be true.
I'm again, like back to what I had said, I kind of feel like it would have merit if there was some sort of technology that created this all over the world. I mean, is this happening all over the world, or is it happening in Jersey?
We know that it's happening on the East Coast.
It's happening on the West Coast. That's where that Nimitz, the gimbal, the Tic Tac, all those videos came from, which is military stuff that got leaked from whistleblowers.
That's true. Some of that's from like early 2000s.
Very early 2000s.
Yeah, so they're not just rolling it out.
No, but it's getting extremely
more
prevalent.
and more, into the public eye. And so I did read one piece.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
But like creating this to get everybody to cross borders, right, with like other countries, and just kind of put down borders and be like, oh, this is a united front that we need to have, and we need to create this one world government, is what I had heard. That made sense to me. That it would be like, oh, there's aliens. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to fight individually as individual countries, or do you want to fight together
as a whole?
As a whole, and like, let's give up rights or things and start.
Yeah, but I mean, if aliens did show up
Canada
and
be the
start
51st
shooting
state of the
at
US.
people
doesn't order sort of fall apart immediately?
Yeah, but if it was like really an us against them scenario, it's like when bullets start flying, then people band together. When it's no bullets flying,
my house with a baseball bat.
Swing away, Jimmy, or whatever his name was. Yeah, but if bullets really start flying or plasma lasers from aliens start flying, then we're all joining collectively.
I've seen the stormtroopers shoot. I'm not worried.
Yeah, but until it's like there's a threat. Yeah, it just feels like it's kind of playing with things, like playing with emotions, playing with.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. It all, of all the stuff we've been dealing with, it all feels like it's just playing with our emotions. COVID, fucking everything we do, and it's just
one thing
so
after
intense.
another. Yes,
it's getting so intense to where it's like.
And what are the real chances that these things are just coming one after? It's like boom, 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 boom. I think it's an effect of the social media cycle where they can just constantly bombard you with one. The
24-hour media cycle is now the 24-minute social media cycle, and it just everything all at once.
And people like it because it's their entertainment. So it's not just the media brainwashing the people. It's
except
the people.
You lovely people listening to us,
the enlightened Neanderthalites.
Yeah, but isn't that like I've always said? I think
because it keeps you scrolling. If it's not exciting, you're not going to keep scrolling.
Like to go down the what technology wants, like idea, like
fuck's sake,
it wants you.
Things want to grow to complexity. Like systems start off as single cell, and then they grow to multi-cell.
I like that we have like the high-minded sort of idealists that are like technology wants to grow to the highest level of complexity possible, and then you look at like what is actually done with that technology, and it's Japanese sex robots.
Yeah, dick and fart jokes.
It's a place for someone to park their
Those are a lot of amazing creations. Let's not slander them. But like things want to go from a
tube sock
a very but things want to go from like a basic.
Who wants to microwave a tube sock when you can warm up this bad boy with a remote control?
Yep, it's got Bluetooth. What?
That would be cool, actually.
It could sing iTunes while you're fucking.
Dude, while you're going to town, all of a sudden it's like incoming call.
Yeah, like,
grandma,
mom cell.
They need to upgrade this feature.
Just wanted to make sure you got that Christmas card. What?
What did you do with the socks I sent you?
They're in the microwave.
And a cantaloupe.
Yeah, but think of it like if things want to go from basic to more complex, the same thing is true about our culture and our media. And if we've been going to this point where it seems like we're doing a lot of stupid things as a country, like things are going to keep ramping up until they hit a point of pressure, a boil over, or an explosion point. Maybe it's like we are getting so close to that explosion point, people are just so desensitized. They're like, oh, it's just another thing. It's another thing.
Well, you get to like terminal velocity where it doesn't go anymore, right?
Yeah.
But
that's leading up to any catastrophe.
The vessel can only hold so much pressure.
Yeah.
And we're reaching our limit. And I wonder too, like the border stuff is very concerning to me because of how it's stuff that I'll never say into a microphone, but it is so easy to create a mass casualty event with things that are available to every single person. Mm-hmm. You don't need a firearm or fancy explosives. But if there are truly Taliban trained terrorists in the country, and I think that there are,
wasn't that guy with the Tesla truck that blew up?
But he was a former soldier.
He was an active duty guy. The New Orleans guy, Tesla, the New Orleans guy was flying an ISIS flag off the back of his truck allegedly.
Yeah, but wasn't he something military? It sounded like he got radicalized.
He had been active duty as well, but it's not like you can't join the American Army.
Oh yeah,
just because you're a ISIS sympathizer.
But I do think the left loved that it was a former military guy that got radicalized instead of someone coming across the border.
100%.
It's a talking point for them. That's like, this is the right. That's the real problem. Our people are good that are coming through.
Yeah. And meanwhile, our own government is still hunting, quote unquote, domestic violent extremists, rather than looking at the porous border that's like a hub of fentanyl, human, and fucking like terrorist trafficking.
Yeah, Canada.
They're worried about they're worried about people like me who are teaching firearms marksmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where to go with that.
Yeah.
Just the fact that
but it's almost like it's intentional. Like all the resources are directed in the wrong directions. The pressure cooker itself is primed to blow.
Well, it's two parties like that are, and honestly, it's two parties that are. Yes, that's what I was trying. It's smoke and mirrors to make it look like there's this big, massive fight going on, and it is not. It is just kind of feels like our rights are getting stomped on and taken away at every corner, and this whole. UFO kind of thing, I haven't really paid much attention to it at all because it's like
also the UFO dorks are going nuts because they say that there's a group of whistleblowers that have been running a black ops operation for a long time.
Oh shit,
and
black
allegedly, no, I'm just telling you what the chatter on the internet is. Mike's a man of the people. He keeps his ear to the street. You all know me, still same old G. But what it seems like on the internet with the UFO dorks is that what they're saying is that in the 50s, Roswell was a real recovery.
Yeah.
Right? One crashed. We learned a lot from them. These things have been showing up forever since then. We've established a team of killers that have learned how to take down these UFOs. That's where you get a lot of new technologies and lasers and EMP weapons. Now
still don't have a hoverboard.
Yeah, I know. I'm pissed about that. But we use EMP weapons now to take down these crafts, and we've taken down enough of them. I'm just telling you the rumors on the internet that the motherships.
Oh, they're pissed.
Oh, they're not happy with the United States. And so all these whistleblower guys are going to come forward, not only because of that, because also I guess a lot of civilians have been killed in these operations when they make do not fly zones from taking stuff down. And then a person in a Cessna or planes, and they'll shoot them down. This is the rumors on the internet. But they're saying that a bunch of whistleblowers are coming out and they want this to be known. And they're coming out now right before Trump gets in because they want this to be known for like this new administration coming in. That this technology is here. The United States has it. We have black ops programs, and so does China. That's been the buzz for the UFO dorks. Then this thing in Vegas happens, and this guy's got all this UFO stuff and wants to come out about, and it's like, oh, is this what those dorks are talking about? There's just a lot of conspiracies all kind of like lining up. Like things, and these are all past said things, but they're all kind of hitting together. I'm not saying I believe it. It's
makes
just
sense.
honestly,
fun. It makes sense to me that it's a next generation weapon just because of the places they've flown them. Like that famous clip where it flies right past the British royal family. Because that's a show of force that says, hey, we can park this thing right in front of your king and queen. You didn't know it was coming and you couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Look at what we can do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't feel like they're taking it. They're not exploiting it.
Yeah. What would be the point of doing it without being like, hey, that's us?
So then
wink, wink,
if they
nudge.
don't exploit it in the near future,
turns into a Cold War kind of situation where two
or it
different
turns into online bullshit to control people's, like just to keep their attention because they're busy passing the latest spending bill that puts us in however many $1 trillion of debt for the rest of our lives.
But if nobody knows what it is, anybody can say it's them.
But that's what just interests me in it. I'm not so much into the aliens part of it. What my biggest interest in this is, like you're saying, what if this is next generational weaponry that one country, two countries, like the race for the A-bomb, right? It was supposed to be Germany and the United States. And it's like, you think history doesn't kind of repeat itself, or two different cultures in the future would be competing for technologies with a potential for global dominance? I don't know. It just seems like there's too much weird kind of stuff going on. But screw that about the alien stuff. Did you guys see China unveil its next generation bomber? And they did it on the day after the 26th, day after Christmas. You know what that day is? Mao Zedong's birthday.
Oh shit!
China just unveiled it's like a
large strategic bomber, or what is it?
Yeah, it's stealth. It's AI integrated systems. It's long range capacity, and it's maneuver. Yes, but I think they can do them without people. But China just came out with a new stealth fighter. China just they're like ready to take Taiwan. They're looking for something.
Why didn't they while Biden was in that to me makes me think they're a paper tiger. That's true. He still is.
Yeah, but they're also getting more to, like, it seems like Russia, China, North Korea, Africa, parts of South America, Mexico are all like, it seems like that's what I mean. Like, it's only going to get more complex. And just like all these rumblings seem more and more nuts. They're like, hey, the rumblings on the internet there's weird technologies that are about to kind of come together. The weird rumblings on the internet is that there's going to be a lot of blood this year. It seems like
I want to know what kind of weird internet sites you're on.
The internet.
Are they?
Yeah,
but you just
tell us.
Is this like dark web shit that you're?
This is Mike Web.
Mike Web.
Yeah, this is Mike Web, the darkest of web. You don't want to come out of that web. Yeah,
you'll never make it out.
But there just seems to be a lot of doom and gloom, like on the internet, as like something's happening.
Because I haven't been paying attention to any of it, and I've been happy as a clam.
Yeah, I know. It's almost hard for me to talk about all this stuff because I've sort of checked out from it for 2 months.
But that's the thing. That's what I mean. That's what I said earlier. Like, we all saw the writing on the walls. That's what everyone talks about. But as this moment starts to come closer to a head, it seems almost surreal that this could never happen, or there's nefarious actors in this world.
Do you think it's possible this is all building up to some event on Inauguration or shortly thereafter?
Maybe not Inauguration, but just we're growing. Something seems to be going closer to like an eruption. There's a pimple on the fucking face of the earth, and it's starting to form a head. I kind of wonder
if our entire like the American century is about to crumble.
Could be.
Because a lot of it is built on we don't have a sturdy foundation. We're in debt, which means that everything this country is built on is sort of like a house of cards. The wealth is all in debt, and the American ideals that originally built the country are subverted. No. So we're a house without a foundation. No. How long does that stand? No. Not much longer.
And I say these things like you say that, and like, yeah, that's not a good thing, but it doesn't make me be like, holy shit, everything's falling apart.
No, I actually think of it more like opportunity, because the current system isn't serving me. So I actually look forward to a crumbling so that we can everybody thinks that having the old system fall apart is a bad thing. That's an opportunity to create a new system that we want.
No,
it's not doom and gloom. Let's all fall into chaos and live like Mad Max for the next fucking 1,000 years. No, let's rebuild the system that actually serves us.
What does that look like to you?
Because
as far as it's exactly right. But because as far as like, as soon as that happens in my mind, instantly I go doom and gloom, Mad Max. Like, what weapons do I need? What car does I?
I think it requires a bottoming out, just like a drug addict or an alcoholic. You have to realize, like, oh shit, this is not how we want to live our life.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden,
after a very difficult period, I think capable and intelligent people start. It starts with the communication. You start going, hey, let's not live this way anymore. Let's figure this shit out. How we can all.
Yeah, but who do we decide on is going to help us? Because there's going to be 20 countries coming to aid us when that happens, and they're all going to have their own little reason for it.
Back up in time to where I say balkanization is likely, where you'll have, you're right. You'll have people trying to inject influence with money.
Yes.
But I also think this is a topic I want to cover later, is I think we also may see the fall of nation states and the rise of mega corporations as the true world powers, which they already kind of are in a sort of smoke and mirrors kind of way. But I think maybe the facade will drop away to where you no
the
longer...
United Regions of Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. This is Amazon country. And if what's his name has a feud with Elon Musk, well, now they've got their little drone wars, and they'll be flying fucking battle bots back and forth. Yeah, having like little billionaire fucking temper tantrums online and then fighting it out in the streets because of that.
The only problem I foresee with that, though, is like the same thing that happened in Chicago when we took out major drug players, or the same thing when we went into Iraq. Like, anytime you take out whoever's in power, you create a vacuum.
Right.
And you create
leadership
people to
rises,
challenge.
which means that all of these leaders,
but you're
going to
get a challenge
phase.
Yes. And that will be a phase through 100%. History. Yeah. That's where,
but isn't the outcome,
that's again why
is
I think
the outcome
balkanization.
Always good?
Yeah.
Not necessarily, no.
I mean,
look at Chicago still.
Yeah. Well, who do you want in power? The person who rises and can keep it? Or is that like, just putting the, boot on the throat of all the citizens? Or is it somebody who's willing to
That's why I always say, I know it's campy and all that shit, but I say Mike Zedong just because to me, it's a thought experiment. Like, every government is supposed to be a representation of the people to whoever's in power. Like, the ultimate representation, though, in my opinion, is what we currently have with the internet. Like, the freedom of expression, or to make your ideas heard instantaneously.
The problem with that is this so easily controlled, and there's so many people who don't understand it.
That's true.
And that's where, like, taking and saying, here's my vote that I wrote down with this pencil and paper. I know I did that and it goes in, but like, if I was to do an online vote and you can see it, that means nothing to me.
We'd have to do the same thing, just like we trusted with voting in the past, though, for like committees or for action or for clarity as to what happened. We need to rebuild
trust because so much.
But also,
trust is
we
lost.
live in the greatest time to have trust because transparency is very available. Like, it used to take a long time to be like, here are the records from this last election.
Yeah, but
let me take it to you.
You need to find a technology that is proven and shown to be accurate.
But it's just we're in the infancy of these things, or like having these abilities. I mean, you could have a video system where, yes, it shows what button you hit, but it's like, all right, for these people that are elected to just monitor this.
It's almost like we all need an ID.
Yeah.
And a number.
But I mean,
we can put in the computer.
Tattooed on your arm.
There has to be some level of
send.
Trust or belief, though, in a system. But if it's not trust or belief, it needs to be accountability, evidence, backing it up with data. And we live in the best time for having data provided to you. So it's like we live in this precipice where we're close.
That's just the problem, though. Like, that's what I'm trying to say is like the data is never really the data. Everybody is learned that data is massaged by the people who want to gain from it. And we see it all the time. And that's why people like are on both sides of the aisles, like saying the same thing from the like different sources saying different things, and they use data to prove their point on gun violence or.
But then, do you think it's bad to have ambiguity
COVID.
in government, or like everyone? It's illegal to like find out what someone else voted, like to steal their mail and look. But like, what if it wasn't illegal? What if you weren't shunned?
I don't think you should have to. I think that should be. I think you should be able to say. Or
this is what I believe in. It's not a bad thing.
You need to be able to raise your hand and say, "Yep, let's count it." You know?
Yeah. No way. And that's
but I guess not wanting your vote to be swayed. I mean, it's like everybody close your eyes, raise your hand if you want this. Close your eyes, raise your hand if you want that.
You're trusting those people.
Well, you're trusting the people to count. Yeah. Right. You put the trust in the people who are counting. But the fact that you have to close your eyes because you don't want other people to be swayed, that's kind of what's the issue at hand, right? We should be able to look across to our neighbor and know what they do and just be fine with it. And that's just not where we live.
Well, it's also like that old saying, like, I rather someone be racist to my face than racist behind my back, because at least I know where they stand and who they are. I rather get a true account of who you are, truthfully. Yeah. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's like people feel like they have to hide what they're 100%.
Feeling. Yeah. You have to. And there's laws that are making you. And that's the friggin' problem we have. Like all this DEI stuff we were talking about a little earlier, that's you can't say things against it. And when you do, all of a sudden you're a problem that needs to be fired. And you need to lose your livelihood because you believe something other than what everybody is deemed to be okay. And not everybody, because there's plenty of people who are like, oh, this crap. Like you walk into a room and they're like, hey, we're going to do this today. And, DEI.
Sit down and watch a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, you're going to sit down, and then when somebody stands up and says, I'm not doing that, sorry. Well, why? I don't agree with it. Well, you need to agree with it, otherwise you're going to be fired. Yeah. You go, well, go fuck yourself then. Like, I mean, I have a buddy who's going through it right now for, he's a firefighter, and was like, I said no to some of the stuff that was going on, and who knows what's coming down the pipe for me.
Good for him.
And he was the same thing when COVID happened. He's go fuck yourself. I'm not doing what you want me to do simply because you want me to do it. I have a different belief.
It's a control mechanism is what it is. You will say and do. You will speak in the language that we have allocated for you and not use your own words. Yeah.
Well, or your own thoughts. Yeah. And that's really the problem, right? Yeah. Is like, don't think other than the way we're thinking, because if you do, you're fired. If you don't, and I get like you need to create a workplace that is accepting, but when the workplace is trying to do that by not being accepting is an issue, right? Trying to keep people from feeling a certain way is just the quickest way to shutting down and having authentic conversations and true ideas without people going, well, I guess I'm just going to shut up. And then all of a sudden you get a group of guys standing in the corner, all just like, well, this is what we're doing, but this sucks.
Yeah.
Now,
but that's where it goes to, like I was saying, it's like it needs to be where you have diverse thought and expression or ideas, but it like doesn't universities.
Mean the person. I have a perfect analogy for that, Jordan, because I got pulled over 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and the deputy, he goes, your tabs are expired. I said, yep. And he goes, he at first he had asked me why. He says, the classic question, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, yeah, money. He was like, well, what? I said, you pulled me over for money. And I said, you can't tell me otherwise when I look around at our society that we're living in, and real crime is going unchecked. So it's not for law enforcement. It's for money, which it was. It was because of expired tags. And his response was, he said, I'm going to give you a warning. He said, personally, I may agree with you. So I'm letting you off with a warning, but eventually you're going to put me in a position where I have to do my job. And I thought about it later, and I thought, no, I'm not making you do your job. You're choosing to. Mm-hmm. You are going to choose. You just told me in your own words that you will choose to violate your own morals because your boss told you to. Mm-hmm. That's where we're at with the weak constitutions of men. Yeah, is that he literally can stand right there and say, hey, I agree with you, but I'm going to violate my own thoughts, my own moral code, because my boss says so.
Mm-hmm. To create a paycheck. Yeah. To create some sort of a, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. That was
but just, so many.
Just to your, it was a case to make Jordan's point.
But so many people's moral code aren't
set because there's people who don't have the time to truly think about it and come up with one. Or and this goes back to a podcast we did a long time ago about religion and what it means to like believe in something and hold yourself to it. And that is creating morals.
Yeah.
Right? And weak men don't get to have morals. Weak people do not get to have morals.
Yep,
they will
dictated to them.
and they will move to whatever allows them safety.
Well, we were just talking the other day about the difference between a criminal and an outlaw. Is an outlaw understands that he's violating laws in line with his own morality, where a criminal doesn't have morality. They're just breaking laws for their own gain.
Just doing whatever. Heavy words,
Bumper
boy.
sticker. Am I right? Good Lord. Yeah, I don't like the shutting down. Like, again, like, you should be able to say hi and like get along with people and be fine no matter what their belief system is.
Well, that's kind of what these overarching belief systems were. Like,
well, so
being of the same religion told you that you have the same moral and ethical code as the next village down the valley.
yeah, so you could do trading and all that, and like, I truly believe
Those
that.
guys are good Christians.
Yeah.
And therefore we know their moral code.
And we can, you know, they're not barbarians that are gonna do this or that.
The guys next valley over, they're fucking 49ers fans. Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and yeah, they ain't wrong.
We shoot on sight.
Yeah. Huh? Raiders?
I don't watch football. I'm like,
I don't
oh
either.
yeah, the gold rush.
But
Yeah.
I know we don't like the 49ers.
Fuck those guys. The Rams suck.
Do we not like the 49ers?
No.
I don't know.
No.
What the
That's division rival.
Oh,
Fuck those guys.
yeah. Those
I mean,
guys suck.
Twice a year, fuck
Go
those guys.
Hawks.
Yeah, twice a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you just see that at all kinds of on all levels of
It's everything.
workplaces.
It's Democrat versus Republican. It's identity, everything. Identity politics, identity sports, identity. It's all around LGBTQ versus cisgender white males.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all identity conflict to keep everybody sort of on edge and bickering with each other instead of finding like that.
This
Where I'm
So, but
crossing my
that's-
fingers into harmony.
That's where the aliens do make you come together, though.
Well, that's
Like
what I was
Reagan
saying.
had
That's
that-
what I was
yeah.
saying. Like, that's like where some people are saying this is a ploy to create a one world government where everybody comes together and against this
And fights the one world government.
Well, and fights the
government creates the resistance to the
Yes,
government.
they do.
Yeah.
The problem creates the resistance. That is absolutely correct.
I mean, that is every civil war. That is actually a good point. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, every civil war.
There wasn't
is
a
the government.
there wasn't a
creating their-
resistance to the one world government until there was an attempt to make a one world government.
I mean, you look at it and it's like we created the Taliban.
Yes.
And we created ISIS.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, you create all your people that you want to fight in certain ways.
Still fund both to this day.
I know that's kind of crazy how much they spend.
That
Isn't
right
it like
that right
4
there tells
million
you.
a week or?
I think it's like 80 million a week at the most.
You better get those tabs.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, pay your fucking tabs and your taxes because the Taliban and ISIS need man-portable air defense missiles.
What else do you think they did? A lot of slippers with bells on.
Jenga trucks.
What'd you say?
Jenga trucks.
Jenga trucks.
These giant 5-ton trucks from like 1975 that they're like bedazzled,
Oh, with all the
shiny stuff.
yeah. What's the
Fishing lures and bedazzlers.
Yeah, fishing lures and bedazzlers.
It is crazy some of the trucks you see. Like we live in the
And
north.
those things can make it through the Khyber Pass, where your fucking Kia sedans would be, or like a Ford Explorer 4x4 SUV would be like.
Oh yeah. But it is crazy like living in Washington. I mean, we got a lot of different cultures and stuff, but in the truck driving community, there is a lot of Indian and Somali and Farsi and like all kinds of Middle Eastern truck drivers. The amount of chrome on some of the semi trucks I've seen in gold and purple is out of control, dude.
Yeah.
That's on the
But
white.
Some of them are
The
like
tassels
bling
hang from
bling
windows.
awesome though. Like they are. It looks like the Taj Mahal. Some
Listen,
of them.
I could get behind some American Jenga semi truck culture.
Yeah.
That's a tradition we could bring in.
Did you ever get on, what was it, ham radio? Like, you ever talk to truck drivers? You ever get one of those?
CBs? Yes.
Yeah, CB, CB, not ham. Yeah.
Breaker 19.
Yeah, when we were kids.
Yeah. You get those radios and you'd start talking with people.
Yeah, my friend in high school's dad had one in his truck. So we'd go cruise around on like Saturday nights and talk on the CB to truckers coming by on the highway.
Yeah.
That's how you have fun in OMAC.
Yeah. Well, what were they saying? What were they?
Why don't you boys come on up to the Chevron?
Yeah.
Come on up. We'll see. We'll put a mouth to that sound.
That's where you go and find a lot lizard.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
what are they trying to say? That's what a lot of bodies been going missing on this road.
That's a weird lifestyle to live. How do you think we'd all do as truckers? How do you think we'd all do as truckers?
Life.
Oh man, that's the amount of dog you need.
Yeah,
you know.
And then that cab's gonna smell like wet dog and fart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they got those big, like, especially back in the 90s. Remember, it almost looked like your grandpa's plushy easy chair up there.
Yeah.
That's a chair that holds scent.
Yeah.
That thing.
The inside of that cab.
That gets deep
lot
into the
of
cushion.
stale cigarettes, some fucking AM PM coffee.
You're
probably
every
some
time
crystal
you
meth.
shower, it's at a
Some
like
sweat,
gas
some
station.
serious sweaty butthole that's been eating curry.
You ever look
like
up
gas
at 'em?
station Indian food?
Oh man,
Yeah.
I ran into one at
That's
Twin
an easy
Peaks
chair
one
you
time.
don't want to sit in, buddy. Say
A
what?
truck driver at Twin Peaks.
Where's that?
It's a restaurant. It's like Hooters, but like on the south side. And it's awesome. Great burgers.
South side of what? Seattle?
Yeah.
Hang on, a lot of those trucks have like a sleeper thing in the back.
Yeah.
So homeboy's not even leaving. Like he's parking that shit at the rest stop. He's just climbing in the back.
Yeah.
And
That's where you get a lot.
it's like a
Yeah, dude, where you
it's
have
like
a little
it's like a
fun.
sealed pressure cooker in there of
farts.
Just
It's
a
not
bad
good.
decision.
and a dog that lives in the like 40 square feet.
Yeah, just always a small little dog. You see him at the rest stops running around yapping. I met a trucker. He was a long haul trucker.
Probably
he said
got
he
carpet
owned
on
it.
the walls and the ceiling.
He
So
was-
that really like
He was a
holds it.
heavy boy.
Yeah.
This guy, young kid though. He was like 23 or 24. He said he owned his own truck, and it was like
He wanted to show you.
$270,000. Yeah, he was like, come get up
Come
here.
check this thing out.
Come get up here. Does it smell like chloroform? I was like, what the? Anyway, when I woke up in San Antonio, he had ruined me. He was saying, he was like, dude, I make like $250,000 a year. I drive truck. My dad drives truck. My brother drives truck. Like we just.
But that's tough. I mean,
That's
if
like-
you got
that's
a family,
crazy.
though, that's.
There
I mean,
have
yeah,
been times- There have been times when I'm driving into the city in the morning and I'm looking at those truck drivers and it's like, his phone's not going to ring 72 times.
No.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to go check emails.
No.
He doesn't have to go sit in the like this dude. Homeboy is just going to hit I-90, turn it east over the mountains,
just
fucking cruise.
head for the
Promised land.
just follow.
But
that
those guys
sunset.
are also-
follow that sunset, brother.
Those guys are also the most susceptible for AI taking over. I mean, you look at there's taxis that are driverless.
Just because they're
I think-
Teslas
I
are
think my
they're
accountant
Indians doesn't
What?
mean
What?
technology is going to take over.
Easy, buddy.
No, but that's a job that will be one of the first to go.
I think
Maybe.
accounting because I was sitting here today.
Yeah.
Because
And
calculators, duh.
Well, look
Well,
at check
I just want to be able,
registers.
like, why in 2025 am I doing all this by hand, like entering shit into Excel? Why isn't every transaction that I make through my website just automatically loaded into a program, all the accounting done for me, and the AI, like the fucking
yes.
Snapchat should be able to do that shit in like 30 seconds.
Dude, QuickBooks should just do
Should
everything.
do itself.
Yeah. Here's your taxes. Here's your profit. Here's your balance
Engineers.
sheet.
There's a couple small business owners talking right here.
We got to design.
I just do
AI,
everything
Mike.
with cash.
I got a
And
I got a bunch of scrap copper in the garage. If you want to try to make an AI,
Yeah. And a
some
welder.
batteries.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll get it.
Give me 2 weeks.
We got this micro SD card thing that we're recording on. We'll use that too.
Yeah, we'll toss it in there. Why not? Needs memory.
It's funny that it kind of sounds like a junkie Olympics. You know, it's like you've got 5 pounds of copper, 2 lithium ion batteries,
Yeah,
make
no
something
shit.
out of this.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Ah."
We're going to need that.
Yeah. Here's a sprinkler system for my box setup. Cool.
All right, let's take a pee break.
Pee break.
How deep did you go?
At least 2 knuckles.
Knuckles deep. So it is the turn of a new year, Jordan.
Yeah.
And this is we took our time off, which let me put this out there for anyone that is a fan of the show and the holidays hit and you're like, where's our podcast? Listen, this is real life.
We have lives too.
Yes, this is 3 people getting together, carving time out of their day to provide fulfillment and enjoyment to our fans and our following. So let me put this out there. If you want the realest of real, that is real. Taking time off. And if you're not doing something with your time on that holiday, hanging out with family, doing a hobby, cleaning a room, a task you wanted to get to, shame on you, right? That's reality. Reality is your friends are here to tell you to pick it up in the new year. But
Shit.
here nor there. What the real question is with this new year, Tobin and I were talking about predictions and a little bit of where we think.
A little bit more on the end of the word, I think.
ends.
Dictions.
Dicks.
But kind of the things that maybe you might see the year happening. And I'll start it off because, like I said earlier, the rumblings of the internet, the chatter, what seems to be like, and I think of it like Revolutionary War. Like you would probably go into certain towns and they were like, oh my God, this is blasphemy. What's happening is out of control and we need to fight for what's ours. And then maybe you go into another town and it's not as loud. And so when I say chatterings, I think it's that same thing. I think it's a town hall. And I think the internet is our current town hall.
Oh, for sure.
And if I'm taking the temperature of what I feel the town hall of the internet is or the speak, and this ain't saying it's conspiracy or it's just there's a lot of rumblings. I feel this year may be very unfortunate due to acts of aggression, terrorism.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things this year that's going to kind of go unhinged. And I don't know if it's extremists from other areas, if it's extremists in our own area, you got a southern border thing. But making predictions, I'm saying it's going to be a lot of pain, maybe physically, but also to like events happening in the United States that gets people rallied behind it, like a Pearl Harbor, that same sort of effect.
We're back to what I was saying earlier about fear being the catalyst to people giving up their rights.
Yeah.
Yeah, domestic attacks.
Because 9/11 was one incident, and it fueled how much war.
Yeah,
like, if you can combine 10 9/11.
Yeah. But the thing about one of these massive 9/11 style attacks is they only happen every so often. If you, God, I don't even want to say these things. If you have small level attacks more frequently, it keeps people looking over their shoulder more constantly, and it keeps their fight or flight elevated all the time, which makes them when people are in their fight or flight, they're very easy to control because they're looking for an out. It's like it's in their genetics.
And that's how you saw the new year start. That wasn't a huge, it's the worst, most atrocious, horrible event that could have happened in New Orleans on New Year's Day morning. But something like that, okay, so that's horrible. Maybe that happens once a year. But now that's happening every other weekend.
Yeah.
That's hard on the American psyche and
Yeah, definitely. Because it makes you not want to go to public places.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially if it's like a ritualistic type public place. Like think I don't want to say these things. I don't want to suggest a place but just think of public gatherings.
Yeah. It makes and that it sucks, but it's like I want to go to the Gorge with a big bag of weed and see Dave Matthews Band.
Dork.
You know what I mean? But like thinking that our world is not the world that I grew up in, where it was innocent like that, where friends or people could get together. That's what makes me sad about thinking about things like that. And like
the fear of that is not a reason to not do it.
The crowds are parking.
Yeah.
Well, it's
$15 Bud Lights.
That's
you should. I mean, but that's the most like patriotic or strong thing you can do is continue a way of life.
Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't be driving into Seattle every day on the way to work with every thought in my head going, turn around. It's the craziest thing. Like, literally, I look for excuses.
Yeah.
But it's not just excuses, but it's like something tells me I shouldn't be. And it's like, you see a flash of light and it's like, what was that? Should I turn around? Like that thought, like, is a combination of me
for us,
not
the
wanting.
Naval Air Station is only like 15 miles that direction, so
it's a combination of me thinking
the nukes
like,
are going to land here too.
Yeah, is this something that's like an attack, or is this a problem happening? Is there a fire? I don't know.
Do you ever
then
feel...
a big part of me is like, I don't want to be stuck in traffic. I don't want to sit like in this, like, and I think part of me is that's what I'm like looking to get away from is the day-to-day grind, versus like, okay, is there really a bomb that's going off down there? Or like, why would it happen this early in the morning, first of all?
Would they really get up this early?
And that's what I always,
last day when
it
you
always
sleep till
comes
7?
back to. Yeah, it's like, they're gonna wait till everybody else at Amazon's in here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I could say that. We might need to bleep that out.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Everybody knows where that is.
Yeah, well, which one, right?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, it was like, you would. This is crazy to talk about. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Things.
But I mean, if things are going to happen, they're most likely to happen to an inhabited area.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
That's why early in the morning you're fine. It's not the guy working night shift that's going to have the issue. It's the guy in the middle of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, unless that was just really poor planning.
But also, it's but not only is it the city too, but it's like what comes with the city. Like, to think of like going to downtown Seattle at 4 or 5 in the morning when tons of people aren't around you, probably not as many cops out and around because population isn't out and around.
Yeah.
So you get more degenerate and you're like, I got to go through this kind of, in a way, a little bit of a war zone. If not a war zone, an open drug market with junkies and radical people.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the norm to be like, I don't want to do this. And as someone that's grown up around this area and to see what it's been and what it's gone to, it probably puts in more disdain or a bad taste in your mouth that every time you go to used to what be a beacon of the city is now something that you're seeing as a mental battle or, like,
yeah, I mean, there's
sad.
I think there's a lot of people that like, and myself included, like I look at the things we have or used to have, and I hold on to those memories and that of what that was at one time and what it's become is different. And I constantly, being that like my girlfriend isn't from this area, she grew up in the East Coast, so when she comes here, it's kind of like, oh, well, this really used to be like this, and this was like. I find myself constantly looking back to what was and not to what is coming or what might be. Like, it's look at how shitty this is comparatively, and I compare things to the past, and that's like they say that's the.
We're all old men now.
Well, it's miserable.
Yeah,
like that's it's. They say looking to the future is fear and looking to the past is depression, and living in the current moment is peace or whatever.
But
what
if your current moment's shittier?
I don't know.
That's not peace.
Yeah, but I'm just...
Then that drives you to madness of why did the past have it? Why was this better? Was it
what is it
population?
Better? Is it better for everybody? Like, is it better for some people? Was it better for you? Or are you the most important thing that needs to be
but
better?
I would say you would take the poll of most people, middle America, the average person.
Well,
That's
I'm talking
how
about
you
in
gauge.
Seattle, right? There's a lot of people in Seattle who think this is great.
But they're probably not middle.
Who knows?
If you're loving Seattle,
Who-
it's because
but
you
who-
can
who
afford
gets to say
Seattle. Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you love New York, you can afford New York. You know how expensive New York is?
Freaking Portland when I had nothing.
Yeah.
Portland was fantastic 20 years ago.
I had youth.
Hang on.
But that's the thing is what I'm saying is like it's not like having money and having your body like a young kid will have more fun right now than just about anybody, no matter what.
Yeah,
like,
but
a young kid in freaking Iraq is probably like, this is kind of tight right now. I'm hanging with my buddies and we're fucking 14 years old.
But
Kicking the soccer ball.
You know what I mean? Like there's fun to be had
but
with like
a young kid with a stable country and future where money gets you more, you'll probably have more fun.
No, a young kid who has no idea what is beyond
What he doesn't have. Yeah.
That is where you're going to have the most fun.
If you don't know what you don't have.
Yes.
You don't know.
Ignorance is bliss.
And I didn't know I grew up poor until I was in the Army, and one of my friends was making fun of the kids who grew up on hot dogs and pork and beans. And I was like, I love hot dogs and oh fuck.
You're like, that's
we were poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're setting up a society where you want people to be happy with squalor.
I want people to be happy.
You want, but
regardless,
still to
right?
elevate, though.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is...
in comparison to what?
Just to what it used to be. What it used to be was better for opportunity.
There wouldn't be rich people.
That's true, but it was better for opportunity in the day.
Yeah, but what you're saying is it's better than it's worse than it was, but it's has more. Guess what? It has more of now.
It's getting sassy.
Yeah.
No,
what it has more of is potential.
It has potential, but for only a certain group of people. If you
disagree.
get to a point where Seattle is super rich living only, then you can only afford one group of people, and those are the people that are the richest. When you had it back in the day where, yes, you had poor and you had rich, but like I said, that middle class had the ability to either go up into the riches or be a piece of shit and fall into squalor.
In the early 90s, when Seattle was at its peak, I would say, of everything
80s,
in the
90s,
80s,
yeah.
90s. They also were the number one state or city in the country to be robbed. The banks were being robbed right and left in Seattle.
Oh shit!
Yes, it was the number one. It was fucking crazy. People
But
robbing shit right and
yes,
left.
Whatever happened to bank robbery? That kind of has gone away as like a criminal.
That stat
enterprise.
is true, but that stat was true for the whole entire United States.
We should bring it back.
Bank robberies used to be so
but it
prevalent.
was big in Seattle.
Very big
because
in
why?
Seattle. Tons of money.
The internet boom.
Tons of money.
And all of a sudden we have Microsoft and we have all these tech companies kind of moving in.
Banks are holding a lot. They're
holding. Banks are holding. They're holding. And there's some guys out there robbing. But I mean, that's the other thing.
I got a pickup truck. Let's go.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems to me like more people are getting away with it too.
Yeah, but cameras and everything. But
That's what I'm saying. What changed? Is it all cameras everywhere? What?
Oh yeah,
What
you get
curtails
caught
that?
way more. Career criminals are shut down.
But
more.
no, they
with
just go into
media.
they go into different.
Yeah, you
avenues.
go online. The good criminals learn how to deviate and go
They
into
end up
online
onto
more.
weird internet searches, Mike. You know anything about that?
The Mike web.
Yeah. They get on the mic
Below
web.
the dark web, there's the Mike web.
Yeah.
So
It's a couple layers
the very
deep, I've
depths.
heard.
It's
Feels,
Yeah.
You need a shower when you get out of the Mike web.
Yeah.
family friendly.
A couple times with sand, I've heard.
Middle name's Disney, dude.
Yeah.
Middle name's Disney.
Yeah.
The Mike Disney web.
The Mike Disney web. Oh.
Ooh, boy.
I don't even like that.
I feel
feeling.
dirty just saying that.
Walt just turned over in his grave.
Yeah. Grandpa, Walt. Oh, I'm putting things together here.
2 knuckles, huh?
Listen, boys. The thing is no, you can look back in time and be like, this was a better time and opportunity.
Yeah, but that's what I always do with technology. Remember that and how you shit on me?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, you know what we all need is a sharp knife, an
Yeah,
axe,
but
and something to start a
there's
fire
one
with.
thing that permeates between the two. Like, opportunity is needed for everything.
Yeah.
So if you need opportunity for growth as a technology, you need that ability. If you need the opportunity for growth as a citizen in a class, you need that middle class for opportunity for growth to happen or failure to happen.
Well, you want smaller steps to be able to get up the ladder, right?
Yeah.
So you need
no, you just need the ability for that ladder for anyone.
But you need a larger spread of
a lesser incline.
A lesser incline, which means a greater volume of people at different stages of life, in different spots. If you had nothing but Bill Gates and you had the poorest of the poor, guess what? That class and that class will never get together. But if you have middle class and then you have people who are lower middle class, upper middle class, and start dividing all those classes, now there's a way in which somebody can work their way to the top or work their way up the step,
what I mean,
which is America.
But that's what I mean. We're saying like the opportunity is like the pricing of, like, if you think of Seattle today and say to rent, what's a 1-bedroom apartment in Seattle to rent?
Oh God,
couple thousand.
I'm gonna say probably like $2,000.
I'd say at
three.
No, a couple bedroom apartment.
Oh no,
one bedroom apartment.
When we were getting divorced, a single bedroom apartment in Mill Creek was like $2,500.
Yeah. So downtown Seattle, living in a single bedroom
you're
apartment,
probably $3,000 to $3,500.
$2 to $3,000.
It depends.
So my point is,
when I was living in Seattle, it was $50.
Yeah, back then
a $50 basement.
Now, but that's what I mean. That's the point.
With Ratatouille as my roommate.
But that's what I mean.
You know what that's like? Sweeping these ladies off their feet to a rat-infested basement.
Wearing your wrestling singlet?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
I hope you were wearing your wrestling shoes.
Oh, and I had to.
Yeah.
Because of the rat poop. Don't step here, ladies.
But that, let me carry you.
I'm going to carry you across this threshold.
It's going to be quiet as hell.
Watch your head on this rafter here.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, I was too broke to afford anything.
It looks like for a single bedroom in Seattle, it's $2,200.
There you go.
Wow.
Gross.
So, but that's what I mean. Like, if you set the bar so high that you have to be making at least, let's say, $4,000 a month to pay for that, to pay for a car, for parking, to go to work.
Pay for a car when you live in Seattle.
Maybe.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So for a bus pass or for all your amenities and stuff like that, city living is still expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like you're still going to have to make at least $4,000. So what you're doing right there is you're cutting people out at an entry level. Mm-hmm. So why I'm saying it was better in the past is because for, say, rent was $200 a month, right? That creates the ability for someone that does make good money to live somewhere shitty and save money, but that also creates the opportunity for someone that doesn't make a lot of money to try hard, have a safe place over their head, and sock it away to make more, to save money and to keep building. I think why it hurts our city so much now is because you don't have that starting, you don't have a chalk, you don't have a baseline. If a baseline was everyone could live for $500 a month for rent, it's like, okay, that provides you tremendous opportunity for personal savings, for growth, investment, education, your career, your family.
But things are that way.
How? When all your money goes to just living.
The amount of people who go, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to live out of my van, and I'm going to get a gym membership, and I'm going to shower at the gym, and I'm going to save my money at my job.
See, but
because I will have a job, and I will work for my job. A lot of people will not do that.
But that's the problem.
A lot of people are like, I'm just traveling.
But see, but what you're saying there,
that.
just accepting that I'm going to live out of my car, that's the problem.
Why is
the
that a
American
problem?
dream wasn't.
That's not a problem. That's where some people have to fucking start. And that's the problem is people think that they're above it and that you don't have to fucking struggle. And the reality is the people who can do that are the people that are going to be successful in life.
Yeah.
And you just
want
allow
that.
them to do that.
But
that's the thing is people don't allow them to do that. People want to make excuses and act like you should deserve this, and you shouldn't deserve shit.
You shouldn't
have to
deserve
work
it.
for it.
You do
and a
have
lot of
to.
people don't.
But the baseline is set too high in a lot of.
What's the
look at-
baseline?
dude, my property I bought 10 years ago for half the price it is now.
Yeah.
Done nothing to it.
Okay.
Why?
Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows?
That's
A lot of
the
people are coming
inflation.
to America
That's
and wanting
but that's what
more
I mean.
people. The population has more than tripled since 1956.
Yeah.
That's part of the
that's what
problem
it
of
is.
why
Yes,
Seattle was
yes.
better back in the day.
It's-
Like, but that like not limiting your area, but like you're overinflating or saturating a market. Like, so once again, if you have an oversaturated market today compared to the past, life in the day was better.
Well, less people.
Automatically, less saturation, less inflation.
Yeah, but we're also looking
So
at
we
one
need-
of the wealthiest cities in the world.
Yeah, true.
It looks
Right?
like absolute
So-
dog shit.
Well, it's got a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds, and there's a lot of people who are unwilling to fucking get after it. And all the people in the streets, you think they're waking up like, hey, I'm just trying to charge. This isn't the pursuit of happiness where people are sleeping in the bathroom because they're trying to like find a protective place for their kid, right? This is like, I'm a junkie looking for my next fix. And
I feel like
I'm going to live
it's-
under the bridge.
it's
And guess what? Those people are living in stolen stuff that people paid for, and they don't deserve it. They don't deserve as much as they have, and they're willing to. But there's people who are like, "Well, their baseline needs to be higher."
They're
You go
protected
fuck
class.
them.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying
They
their
get
baseline.
they get away with everything. Yeah, but that's
I'm
the thing.
saying
Is
the
like where
American baseline needs to be more in check. With people
I
like
disagree.
that,
I think that's where
feel like-
character's built, dude.
No, the problem with the Seattle thing is like 99.9% of everyone I know generally tries and works. This mold, this infection, this festering that we have on our city is like the percent of the
Yeah, it's
percent
like- it's almost like
that's just
people-
allowed to be there.
It's almost like people are like expecting a certain baseline.
Well, yeah, it's the it's the
It's not
sliding
the baseline. The baseline is the
Stammering over
pricing. No, the baseline is the pricing. You're overinflating and making it harder on everyone else.
I get what you're saying, and I agree that like pricing has gotten out of control.
Yeah.
in the area and the alls we can do. I've heard. I'm not a guy who knows things. I'd say
You go shopping,
but
you know things.
I would say that the only way to catch up to inflation is by raising the minimum wage. You can't like do anything else about it. You can't lower the price of things.
I think you have to end the Fed if you want to end
You have to
inflation.
pay off debt.
You have
if you
to
want things to become
raise
less inflated.
the minimum wage.
How will that prevent the Fed from printing more?
But that's a bubble
Because
method.
you
But that's
you
a
can't
bubble.
stop, right?
But that's a bubble method. You can.
I thought you couldn't. I thought if everything stayed the same, the only way to get past that would be raising wages to take up the slack of all
For an
this money that
artificial
has
inflation,
been. Well,
yeah.
all the money that's been printed. The only way to get rid of that would be to have the
just soak up more supply
have
at the lower ends of the populace.
Yes. Well, just everywhere, right? So if everyone started making a little bit more money, quit printing all the money, make more money, that's the only way to do it without having a fucking pop.
I don't know that you have to raise the minimum wage to do that.
You'd have to raise all wages to do that.
I think inflation drags wages up anyway because cost of living goes up.
Inflation doesn't change wages.
Inflation
makes things more expensive.
with a time lag.
And then
yes, it does.
creates...
Yeah, it makes
what?
things more expensive,
Yeah,
which
but-
causes
yeah.
wages to need to go up.
Yeah.
With
and
a
then,
they
and,
lag.
then they, and then they don't.
Well,
And
they
then
do.
we end up with Seattle stuff. Is that what you're trying to say? So are we just in a point
I
where
don't
the
know.
baseline is trying to go
my,
up?
My wages have more than doubled since I started being an electrician.
Yes. Same.
Yeah.
So
But-
wages
Or
do
dang.
get
Yeah, but
drugged
the
up by
wages
inflation.
are they're going for you, but
it just doesn't matter because you're still buying the same shit with the same work week. Like you're still in the same social structure.
But that's really what it comes down to is like you wish things were linked to your time, right? And they're just not. And I think it's super unfair that some people go to work and bust their ass for 40 hours or more, and they're not bad people, but somehow their life energy isn't deemed as valuable as somebody who fucking does something on the computer that nobody else understands, or maybe a lot of people understand it. And
is it the system's fault, or is it their fault for deeming their own value that low?
Is it society's fault?
I mean,
for
I chose my
creating
job.
a system that like makes people think they're less valuable than they actually are.
Yes.
Is that what schools do?
Yes.
That's what schools are made for. Yeah. So
I still say it's up to us to figure out our own.
Yeah, but it's
way
not.
Forward.
It is
like you do have to. Like I agree, you get heavily programmed, and I'm right in the middle of trying to break all that fucking programming myself.
You can only be proud of something that.
But you do have to. You have to take ownership of your own shit.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to
even
say.
if circumstances made it difficult for you, and at times you didn't know any better, you still have to own it.
Yes, and that. But I'm saying like you're proud of the programming thing because it's been difficult and you're learning. That is the thing that everybody needs to find out, and that's why it needs to be pushed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And I think that,
me.
yeah, 100%.
Yep.
And I think that there's a lot of people that are stuck in a way, or like, I want to see people rewarded for the effort and positivity they put in the world.
Yes.
And that is just not what we see. And that's where I'm saying it sucks. Because I know people who have worked their ass off and they have nothing to show for it because somebody got their labor and their life force hours for cheaper. Yeah. So because I can do what I do and turn around and buy something cool or get, into spend money, you use the resources that I get frivolously. And I know other people.
And he does.
And I know other people who have to decide if they want power or heating.
Yeah.
With their freaking 40 hours that they put in. And I think it's wrong. Am I going to change what I do to give them more? No.
You're not going to change. But
who can we
did
who
life
can we
decisions get them there, or did they?
No.
They had to have, right?
They are moving past where they started. They started even worse off, and they're making their way to be better.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's just sad to see people struggling to make ends meet, although they are moving forward in life.
Yes.
But it just takes a long time for some people because of where they start.
And you could write them a check for $200,000 tomorrow.
And it would change their life, and they'd be better off at the end of the day forever.
So? 110%. Do you think they wouldn't figure out how to?
But the people
you have to earn it to understand how to.
But the people that are
some people that don't ever earn it and manage it.
I don't think they do. I think they blow it.
No, I think they put a fucking roof over their head.
Yeah, especially with kids.
Yes. I think they go, hey, you know what would be really nice is a little stability for everybody, and that's what I've been trying to get to. Don't think that somebody who makes $10 an hour isn't earning it, because they're fucking earning every bit of it.
Yeah.
And that's where if all of a sudden they got a break and we're like, holy shit, I got all this money.
Like, but shouldn't
but not a break.
At the point that you're
people,
23 and you're still making $10 an hour, you're supposed to look around and go, okay,
what do I need to do?
How do I get to 15? Change. And then you're 25 and you're at 15. You go, okay, how do I get to 18?
Yeah.
And you make it to 8. You know what I mean? You keep doing
but
this.
Say you do that.
100%. But just because that's where they're at, don't think that it wouldn't. $200,000 would give you something to, if you went out and bought a bunch of fucking Nikes.
No, he makes a perfect point, because that guy that starts with that minimum wage job and he makes the right decision.
Still at $12 an hour.
What's that?
I said, if you get to 40 and you're still at $12 an hour, you haven't been paying attention.
No.
And that's not who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because I do believe people, like I said, people in Seattle who aren't trying to get after it, and they're just like, this sucks and I want more. Yeah. It's like, well, what are you doing to get it?
Yeah.
And I think in society we have that middle class, the lower middle class, the middle class, the upper middle class, the lower of the wealthy people, right?
Yeah.
And up on and on and on. And that's the beauty of America. And I think that we have that here. I do agree with what you're saying, and I do think that in the 90s it was a easier slope.
Well,
but
it's like because
things have changed, and social norms are changing with it. If you lived in your van in 1995,
winning. Oh fuck, dude, you're getting so much pussy.
Well,
are you kidding me? Waterbed like a disco ball.
I agree. With the, what did they call that? The shag rug all over it. Are you kidding me? With a mural painted on the side of a Chev Shorty? Of a Viking wizard?
I feel like if Mike was 20 in 1984, he'd be rolling in one of those vans.
Yeah, I think he'd be rolling 20. In it today.
Still 20.
Yeah. All,
if he were single.
The paint's all like
chipped off.
Stained with sun fucking sand.
That's not sun. That's the opposite of sun.
I guess to what, at the end of the day, I guess.
Yeah, but no. I'm going to say yeah, but no. Yeah, but no. Because that guy back in the day, so say you have that person that starts with the minimum wage, and then they apply themselves and they get a promotion, and now they're making $30,000 a year. Now they're making $50,000 a year. Now they're making $70,000. Now they're making $80,000 a year. Well, it used to be $80,000, and don't get me wrong, this changes all throughout history. Inflation happens and things are going to get more expensive. But it used to be $80,000 was the threshold limit of income. It doesn't matter if you make more than $80,000. You're not going to be happier, right? Yes. Yep. It's not going to change.
It's more than that now.
When living almost costs you $80,000.
You go 160 after 160, it's not going to change.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. That's where that base level of it always moving. There needs to be a standard for human beings, like those people that work that hard and they struggle and they never make it.
Would you rather have a job where you're making $1 million a year or not be able to walk?
How about this? How about depending on my job, that's the house I get? Like, what if what you did dictated where you lived? No.
You're back to communism.
Yeah.
Because
in which district?
No, you're exuding effort through a job.
Hi, commissar. You're moving up to the mansion.
No. I'm sorry.
No more apartment block for you, my friend.
Yeah, but in a way.
But that is what we do.
Yeah,
we have the choice. That's how life works.
Yeah.
Like,
a little bit.
Absolutely. But I remember seeing people struggle growing up, watching somebody work their ass off and not being able to provide plumbing at their house.
Yeah.
Literally like that. I've seen that.
Stuff too, because those people that try that hard, you want them to have an impact.
I think there is
on
also,
the people around.
But to Jordan's point, I think there are cases of people who are hardworking and good-hearted and just can't seem to make good decisions.
Yeah. Dummies.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think it's a lack of making decisions. I think it's circumstances don't allow for that decision to be made.
Or is it lack of guidance? Senior parenthood growing up.
Yeah. Or all of a sudden being, 17 with 2 kids.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you do now? It's like
grandma and grandpa aren't around to show you. Or if you didn't come from a stable home as an example.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that there's a lot of people who are willing to do good and are working their way forward, but at the end of their road, I'm sure they would have been like, I could have used $200,000. Would I change the life I've lived to become who I am now and be where I am now, or not? And I guarantee everybody would be like, I'd rather have gone through what I went through to become what I am now. Yeah. Some people would be like, fuck yeah, I would have taken that $200,000. Are you kidding me?
Gone to Vegas.
Yeah.
I feel like we took a 30-minute tangent. Were you going to tell us some predictions for 2025?
Who the hell knows? Welcome back to the podcast, America.
I'm sorry,
We're back from pee break. Yeah.
I didn't mean to
that was good.
do that.
Yeah.
So this whole World War III thing.
I nailed it. Nailed it.
Yeah. What else has been going on since we took this little hiatus? We got 2 terrorist attacks. And which ones?
A jet crashed in South Korea that everyone died in
crazy.
except for the two flight attendants.
Dude, there's
landing gear didn't go down.
Was it a Boeing?
737.
Landing gear didn't go down. Couldn't go down. They did
I've been hunting with a Boeing guy. No shit.
Keep your eye on him.
Yeah.
His landing gear won't work.
I've been watching him.
Is he a landing gear guy?
I don't know if he's a landing gear guy, but maybe a QAC guy.
Ooh,
not exactly
even worse.
Keeping an eye on applies.
But yeah, there's that plane. Then there's a plane that went down. Was not that Russian. They thought it was Russian missiles that took it down. It was like 2 weeks ago. A week ago.
I don't even know. So the Speaker of the House was just reconfirmed. What's his name? Mike Johnson. Who is not at all what we wanted.
Mike Johnson. I love it.
Yeah. He's been what do they call it, like a rhino, where he's a Republican but he votes like a Democrat.
Yeah.
And everybody's all excited.
But he votes
he's going to be the Speaker of the House again, which I don't understand. This is more 2025 predictions now. I don't think Trump is going to be the savior people thought he was.
No. Are you kidding?
No. I don't think the swamp's getting drained. I don't think much is changing.
Although there's supposed to be another appointed Supreme Court justice, right? Aren't we going to get another one of them?
I don't know.
I mean, but
isn't there one due for retirement?
I have no idea.
Trump's appointed 4 of the 7 or 4, like, right?
But doesn't it sound like also
Is it 7? Am I right?
7.
Yeah.
And isn't it?
Yes, 7 justices.
Gotta have a tiebreaker.
And 4 of them have been Trump's appointees.
I don't know.
And there's going to be another one in the next 4 years. That
new director of the FBI, Kash Patel, perhaps.
I thought they were supposed to be getting rid of that altogether, but what do I know?
Right?
Yeah.
That was the
and
promise.
The IRS.
And then the IRS.
I could use a little bit of that.
Yeah.
The books aren't exactly balanced.
Campaigns are over, boys, which means those promises are sunsetted.
Are we true MAGA? That'll get you canceled. Don't say that.
Damn it. That's why YouTube doesn't show anything to anybody.
Oh, well, what can you do?
Yep.
We're back, boys. Welcome to 2025.
We are back.
Oh, man. And we didn't light anything on fire.
No, thank God it's the rainy
season. You guys didn't have me over.
Mike wasn't invited.
Yeah.
Next summer we're hanging out at his house.
Cool.
There's some slash piles about to get lit.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, good. All right. I think we'll end it there. For those of you guys who are back and listening, if you're enjoying the show, share it and like it and leave us a review on Spotify or iTunes, please.
Yep. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps us out a lot.
Except some sanity. Good night.